NFL Daily is presented by LinkedIn Talent Solutions. They are helping you find the right people for your small business. You can post your job for free at linkedin.com/NFL Daily. Welcome in NFL Daily. I am Will Scott, and because week one is in the books, you know what that means. Overreaction Monday. We're going to break down some storylines, some rumors that we're hearing after week one of the NFL season, or at least the first Sunday of the NFL season. But first, go down and shout out your team. Did your team win yesterday? Did they lose? Or if you're a Culture Texans fan, none of the above after that tie. So go down, shout out your team down in the comment section. Let me know how your team fared yesterday. Let's get into our first storyline here. Cowboys season is over after the Dak Prescott injury. Yes, this is accurate. Dak Prescott is slated to miss 6 to 8 weeks, as we heard this morning. Here's what Adam Schefter reported. A timeline from overnight. Cowboys QB Dak Prescott is scheduled to have surgery on his right thumb today and is expected to miss six to 8 weeks, multiple sources told ESPN's Todd Archer. So we heard Jerry Jones, after that 19-3 loss to Tampa Bay last night, tell reporters that Dak is going to have surgery, said he's going to miss several weeks. Now we have confirmation about the exact timeline here, 6 to 8 weeks for Dak Prescott. Jerry Jones saying Cooper Rush is going to be the starting quarterback until Dak comes back, but let me tell you, Cooper Rush is not that guy, man. He's not that guy. He's not going to be able to go out and get the job done for Dallas. It's going to be a disastrous season for the Cowboys if they opt to go in that direction. I think it's pretty safe to say at this point the Cowboys season is over, not to mention, even with Dak on the field yesterday, the offense looked dormant. Kellen Moore was looking like Jason Garrett out there calling plays. There was absolutely no creativity. There was no strategy on offense. The Cowboys could not move the football all day, just scored 3 points against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Do y'all think that the Cowboys season is over? Type Y for yes or type in for no down in the comment section. It is the pinned comment on today's video. So when an ad break comes, chime in, type Y for yes or type in for no. Now, the Cowboys season might not be over if they make a trade for a quarterback. Could Jimmy G get traded to Dallas? Yes, I think this is something that could absolutely happen. I don't think it's going to happen this week, but I think when Cooper Rush faces the Bengals in week 2 and throws 3 interceptions and they lose that game by 24 points, Jerry Jones is going to be scratching his head saying, hey, who's a quarterback out there that we can trade for? Jimmy G is that guy for the Cowboys, I think. Now, he's playing under a new one-year contract. You may recall he did kind of renegotiate his deal with San Fran to stay with the Niners. That contract includes $6.5 million fully guaranteed. He's the highest-paid backup quarterback in the league and by far the best backup quarterback in the league right now. Here's what he did last season in San Francisco, leading the 49ers to the NFC Championship game. This guy is a winner. The stats aren't anything crazy, but the guy wins football games, which is why I think he's by far the Cowboys' best option. I think if the Cowboys traded for Jimmy Garrappolo right now, you could put the train back on the tracks. I understand there's a lot of other injuries on this football team, as Tom Downey was talking about last night. However, Jimmy Garrappolo could fill that void, well, not completely, but at least help fill that void with Dak Prescott being out 6 to 8 weeks. Will the Cowboys trade for Jimmy Garrappolo? Type T for trade or type P for pass down in the comment section. They should if they want to have any hope in terms of salvaging their season, because right now their season is on life support after just 1 week. Let's get into another quarterback here. Is Trey Lance a bust? He did not look good yesterday in Chicago. This is an overreaction, right? This is a complete overreaction. I understand that he struggled yesterday, especially with his accuracy. Here's what he did in the rain in Chicago yesterday. Did not even complete half of his passes, 163 yards, no touchdowns, 1 interception, as the Bears won that game 19-10, upsetting the 49ers at Soldier Field. You cannot judge Trey Lance based on that game. It was in the rain. The conditions were terrible. The field was in terrible shape. You can't judge Trey Lance based on this one game. We're 1 week into the Trey Lance era. I understand that Jimmy Garrappolo is on the sideline, and a lot of people probably believe that he's the better of the two quarterbacks right now, which is why I kind of think the Niners might have made a mistake keeping Jimmy Garrappolo. This is putting a lot of pressure on Trey Lance. He's not on a short leash, but he might feel that way. He might feel more pressure to step up. But the Niners should have traded Jimmy G or cut him if they couldn't find a trade partner. But who knows? As we discussed just a few moments ago, Jimmy G might be Dallas-bound here in the next few days or at least few weeks. I want to tell you about our friends over at LinkedIn Talent Solutions because they're helping you find the right people for your small business. As you gear up for fall, you need the right people on your team, right, to help your small business fire on all cylinders. LinkedIn Jobs is here to make it easier to find those people to talk to faster and for free. Create a job post in minutes on LinkedIn Jobs to reach your network and beyond to the world's largest professional network of over 810 million people. Simple tools like screening questions make it easy to focus on candidates with just the right skills and experiences so you can quickly prioritize who you'd like to interview and hire. It's why small businesses rate LinkedIn Jobs #1 in delivering quality hires versus leading competitors. LinkedIn Jobs helps you find the candidates you want to talk to faster. Did you know that nearly every week, nearly 40 million job seekers visit LinkedIn? Post your job for free at linkedin.com/NFL Daily. That's linkedin.com/NFL Daily to post your job for free. Terms and conditions apply. I actually found Chat Sports, and they found me through LinkedIn. And like I said earlier, over 40 million people a week going on LinkedIn to look for jobs. It's the best way to find the right people. And Chat Sports has grown significantly. I've been here 6 months. I was the 15th hire. Now we have over 20 people working here. We just broke down a wall to my left, expand our office space. That's thanks to LinkedIn Talent Solutions. Post your job for free, linkedin.com/NFL Daily. Getting into some more overreactions, or maybe not overreactions. Are the Miami Dolphins legit? They beat the Patriots 20-7. Honestly, the game was more of a blowout than that, but still a very impressive win for Miami. Are they legit? Yes. This Dolphins team is legit. And I think a lot of people are saying, well, they can't be contenders because Tua is their quarterback, and I don't know if Tua is that good. I think Tua is going to become a pretty good quarterback under Mike McDaniel, but you got to look at the Dolphins' defense, right, when you're evaluating how legit this team is, because what do they say? Defense wins championships, and the defense won the Dolphins this football game against the Patriots yesterday. 2 sacks, you had an interception, you had a forced fumble, and a touchdown. It was a very impressive showing by Miami against a Patriots team that made the playoffs last year. So when you're talking about the Dolphins' offense, they looked okay. Certainly room for improvement there. You look at Tua's stat line. I mean, 270 yards, a touchdown, no interceptions. Stat line was good. He did make a few questionable decisions, but he needs to take the next step. And I think he will. Mike McDaniel is the right guy. He has a coaching staff that believes in him, that's playing to his strengths. You have a lot of weapons on the field. I mean, you saw Tyreek and Waddle both have really stellar games yesterday. But Tua needs to take the next step, and I think Mike McDaniel will help him do that. If he does, the Dolphins are a legit contender. Now, if you're an NFL fan, be sure to go down and subscribe because we're giving you guys coverage all season long. Rumors, Overreaction Mondays, NFL news. We're going to keep you posted on everything that goes on around the National Football League. Now, switching now from the Dolphins to Pats, the team the Dolphins beat yesterday. Do they suck? Yes. The Patriots are not very good at football. And I know that's crazy because they made the playoffs just last year. Mac Jones had a pretty good rookie season. They have Bill Belichick. But you aren't going anywhere with Matt freaking Patricia calling your plays. He has a defensive background. He hasn't been an offensive assistant since like 2007. And then previously, he was, I think, an offensive graduate assistant at Syracuse. That's all of the offensive coaching experience he has. He's a defensive coach. He was the Patriots DC, Lions head coach. He was a disaster as a head coach. But you're not going anywhere with Matt Patricia calling your plays and Joe Judge helping Matt Patricia call your plays. Talking about the quarterback, Mac Jones did this yesterday. Did not look very impressive. 21 of 30, 213 yards, a touchdown, interception, lost a fumble that was recovered for a touchdown, a safety blitz. So Mac Jones did not look impressive. Tua, quite frankly, outplayed Mac Jones yesterday, which might have been a surprise for some people. Not myself, maybe other people. Now, Tom Pelissero reported this. So the Patriots did get some good news, even with the loss yesterday. X-rays were negative on Pats QB Mac Jones' injured back. Per source, he'll be evaluated further when the team gets back to Foxborough. So we'll continue to update you on that situation. That's something to monitor. But unlike the Cowboys with the Dak Prescott news, this appears to be good news for Patriots fans. Now, are they going to make the playoffs? It's a very tough division that they're in, a very tough AFC. Type M for make or type W for won't down in the comments section. Talking about the Bengals now, the defending AFC champs. Was that run a fluke because they lost to the Steelers? Joe Burrow didn't look good. This is an overreaction, right? We're one game in to the season. They should have won that football game. I mean, Joe Burrow led the team down the field, tied the game with no time remaining on the clock, and then Evan McPherson had the extra point blocked. I feel bad for LSU fans that have also become Bengals fans with Joe Burrow because, they're having nightmares about blocked extra points at this point, 2 weeks into football season. But Steelers won 23-20. Joe Burrow did not look like Joe Burrow. 33 of 53, 338 yards, 2 touchdowns, 4 interceptions for Joe Burrow. And it's crazy to think, right, that like Burrow threw 4 picks and the Bengals still should have won the game. They're a missed extra point away from winning the game. So the Bengals are going to be just fine. Burrow's going to step up. They play a Cowboys team that's going to be having Cooper Rush at quarterback next week. The Bengals are going to be just fine. This is still an 11 or 12 win football thing. A football team, I think. Now, talking about their division rival, the Cleveland Browns. Can they survive with Jacoby Brissett at quarterback? I think they can. That's not something I would have said before yesterday, but then I saw Nick Chubb run the football again. I'm like, yeah, they're going to be just fine. They're also going to be fine because of their upcoming schedule, because their upcoming schedule is a joke. They play the Jets with Joe Flacco. That's an easy win. Steelers with Mitch Trubisky at home. That should be a win. Play the Atlanta Falcons. That's a win. They're probably going to start 4-0. Then they play the Chargers at home. That's going to be tough. Patriots home is going to be a little bit tough. But look at that. 4 of the next 5 games are at home in Cleveland. That should be a stretch. They finish at least 3-2, maybe even 4-1. I'm feeling pretty good if I'm the Cleveland Browns right now, especially because of who your running back is. Nick Chubb went off against the Panthers, averaged over 6 yards per carry. That is absurd. 22 carries, 141 yards, no touchdowns. But look, Jacoby, he looked okay. I mean, not great, but Nick Chubb is the running back. Let Nick Chubb do his thing until Deshaun Watson gets back against Houston Texans in 11 weeks. Now, speaking of the Houston Texans, they're in the AFC South. Are they the worst division in the NFL? Yes, this is 100% accurate. The AFC South is a joke. I saw a tweet earlier today that was like, you need to just eliminate all these teams from the NFL playoffs. The AFC South should not get an auto bid to the playoffs because no teams won a game in Week 1. The Colts and the Texans tied. The Titans lost to the Giants somehow. The Jags blew it in the end against the Commanders. It's a really, really rough division, man. I mean, I think a lot of people are like, well, maybe Matt Ryan can make the Colts Super Bowl contender. Give Matt Ryan a lot of credit because in the fourth quarter, he led the Colts back to tie the game, but he's a little bit washed, right? And then the Titans, Tannehill played decent, but they're not going to get very far with Ryan Tannehill as their quarterback. AFC South is terrible. Let me ask you, though, who is the worst division in the NFL? Go down in the comments section. Let me know. For me, it's the AFC South. Talking about a much better division, the AFC West, which has 4 potential playoff teams, are the Chiefs the best team in that division and the best team in the NFL? This is an overreaction. I understand that they looked really, really good against the Arizona Cardinals yesterday, beating them 44-21, a complete annihilation of a team that made the playoffs last year. I don't know how legit this Cardinals team is. I think they're a little bit fraudulent. Chiefs are not fraudulent, but best team in the NFL, I don't know. They also might have the best quarterback in the NFL. Patty Mahomes had a heck of a day yesterday. 365 yards, 5 touchdowns, no picks. But here's why the Chiefs are not the best team in the NFL, right? There's a reason I'm going to give you here in a second why the Chiefs are not the best team. The Buffalo Bills exist. I think the Buffalo Bills are the better team. I understand the Chiefs have kind of had their number the last couple seasons, or at least in the playoffs, but the Buffalo Bills, in my opinion at least, still the best team in the AFC and the best team in the NFL. Buffalo looked really, really impressive, especially in the second half of their opening game against the Rams. Be sure to go down and subscribe because we're going to keep you covered on all NFL news and rumors. We're going to be doing a lot of these Overreaction Monday videos throughout the season as well.